Okay, so this is part 2 to What If Asta Had Ice Magic. Where we left off is Asta and are 15. Though will their path be? What will they choose to be? Let's find out, shall we? Part 1, Chapter 1, The Grimoire Tower. Asta, where are you, Asta? Yuno is looking for Asta, while Asta is up on the roof of the church. He knows what today is, and he really isn't interested in what will happen on this day. But to obey his brother's wishes, he hops down and calls out Yuno. I'm over here. Yuno looks over to see Asta. Asta is 5'9" and has a lean but muscular build. Asta walks over to Yuno, and they go to the tower to receive their grimoires. Even though Asta doesn't want it, he still goes with Yuno. They get to the tower, and all the nobles immediately scatter and go as far away from Asta as they can. They have all seen what Asta does to someone who annoys him. Okay. When in reality, all the children of the people he beat up saw was Asta beating their father into the ground. And when they ask their parents why Asta just beat them into the ground, they say, "We angered him," and they wouldn't elaborate any further. Further than that. So, because they were so young, they believe that when you annoy Asta, you get your shit rocked. And the belief stuck for the rest of the time, so they walk around Asta like they are on thin ice. They tread very carefully when around Asta. The old man comes out and does the same little speech in the original, because I don't really remember it. It's been so long since I've watched Black Clover. Then the grimoires start flying out and goes to everyone else. And then a bright light descends and goes to Yuno. When Yuno grabs it, it is revealed to be a 4-leaf grimoire. Everyone is shocked, and all the nobles are jealous of it. But then everyone turns to see Asta standing there with a look of joy. And Yuno and the others from the church would smile as well. Even though they don't know what he's smiling about, they still smile. Because it's been so long since they saw true joy on his face. But after they noticed that he didn't have a grimoire, they understood why he was so happy. Because now he could be lazy and not really do anything. And everyone was confused because they thought, how did the person with the strongest magic out of all of us not get a grimoire? But as fate loves to toy with its victims, a noble would go up to Yuno and demand that Yuno hands the grimoire over to him. But Asta didn't like this, and released a bunch of magic infused with a little killing intent, and everyone was frozen in place because of the fear that Asta incurred. But then, because he was releasing so much magic, something odd started to happen. It started to form something, but before Asta could stop projecting his magic, a book formed, and with a cry filled with anguish, he falls to his knees. Everyone would be confused until they look at the book that formed, and they would see a 4-leaf grimoire formed from Asta's magic. And everyone was shocked. Even the old man, who pretty much ran the tower, was shocked. Because it's been hundreds of years since the last time a grimoire was created. I can't speak today. Was created from someone's magic. And even longer since the grimoire that was formed was a 4-leaf. But he wasn't as shocked when he remembered who made it. Asta then gets up and starts leaving, so everyone else does as well. Yuno follows Asta, but gets lost in one of the corridors, and the chain mage appears and tries to steal Yuno's grimoire. But what he didn't notice was a sword of ice heading towards his lungs, but he would notice in time to move a little bit, so he would still get stabbed. He would get skewered with the sword, but it wouldn't hit anything too important. And then Asta would walk up to him and would roughly pull out the sword and go for the finishing blow. But then the Magic Knight squad would stop him by grabbing the chain guy. And Asta would look up with rage in his eyes, which would terrify the Magic Knights. And what made it worse for them was it was the same members of the Silver Eagles from a couple years ago, including the vice captain. The vice captain would be frozen in place. But Asta would just scoff and walk away. Asta would tell them, if I ever see that guy again, he's dead. So you best make sure he doesn't escape. Because I'll have fun if I get to hunt him down. Asta would then leave, and Yuno would follow. Asta would be slightly thankful that the Magic Knight saved the guy because he forgot Yuno was there. And the one thing he doesn't want to do in front of Yuno is kill someone on purpose, at least. And they would then leave. The Magic Knights would be confused on how Asta acted, but then they'd give a small smile because they would then understand why Asta. Oh wait, no, I read that wrong. Okay, but then they'd give a small smile because they would see following them. Then they would understand why Asta acted the way he did, and it was because was there. Because they noticed that Asta gave the guy enough warning to dodge. As soon as he realized that would see someone get their lungs made into a kebab, we go back to Asta and They just arrived back at the church, and they start talking about what to do. And wants to become a Magic Knight. Not only a Magic Knight, but the Wizard King. So Asta says he'll join too. Later that night, Asta would write a letter to the Wizard King and send it to him. We go to the Wizard King's castle. Julius. Yes, Marks. You got a letter from Asta. Julius would quickly take the letter and open it. Okay, give me a second. Julius would quickly take the letter from Marks and open it with excitement. He would start reading the letter. Hey Julius, wants to become a Magic Knight, so I guess I'll be joining as well. We'll be in the test that's coming up in a couple months. Set up whatever test you wish, but the only 2 squads I'll join is the ones in which the captain can actually stand a chance. So I'll either join the Black Bulls or the Crimson Lions. Julius would then summon all the captains and would tell them about what Asta said in his letter. Yami and Fugolion would be smiling while the rest of the captains had a look that were a mix between happy that they didn't have to deal with Asta and upset because they were called weak. Well, this is where I'm going to end off this part. I have some family stuff I've been dealing with, so I haven't gotten much time to write and not even that much time to record. I got no quiet places to record this. What if? Rarely I do, but sometimes I don't. Most times I don't, actually. I'm recording it especially since I'm recording it in my own voice instead of using a text-to-speech. My brothers are causing a lot of trouble for me currently because they continue to mess around with a certain person's father, in which her whole family's starting to get involved, and so we have to put our attention on that. I'm sorry that I made this so short, but I'll try to make it longer. That's what I said last week, or 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry this took it so long to come out, but, it's whatever. I truly am sorry. I couldn't keep my word, so when I have time, I'll get the next part of What If Luffy was born into the Dragon Clan. And I'll also try to get this out the next part of this out anytime, sometime soon, as soon as I have the time. So, later.